Hi, I'm Tim Bruster, Senior Pastor of First United Methodist Church. And we've been talking over the past few months about three very important questions for our church. Who are we? Who is our neighbor? And what is God calling us to do now? And as we have thought about those questions, we've realized it's important for us to enter into a process of discerning where we are headed in the future. Now, to do that, we've hired a consultant named Susan Beaumont who came to us very highly recommended. She has years of experience, and she is one of the leading experts in understanding the large church. And so she'll be guiding us in this process of discernment as we look to the future. And we'll be focusing on those three important questions: who we are, who our neighbor is, and what God is calling us to do throughout this process. The process has several components: gathering information, organizing information, listening, and then discerning what we will do as we move into the future of the church. There is a steering committee that's been formed to guide this process. Now, it's important for you to know that this committee is not deciding who we will be and what we will do in the future. This committee is a work group. And what they're doing, using the gifts and graces and expertise they have, is they are guiding us in this process. They're making sure this process moves along and all the work is done throughout the process of gathering and organizing and listening and discerning. Now, there are some important components that I want you to know about, and it's critical that you participate in these because your voice needs to be heard. The first is a survey that will take place in the month of September. The second component then is a series of focus groups, and you'll want to be sure and take note of when and where those will be held so that you can be a part of one of those important groups so your voice is heard in that way as well. And then there'll be a group that's working on demographic data to understand the demographics of our area and what that means for us as we reach out. And as we are all going in our various ways to be God's people in the world. And then in February, after volunteers have worked on all of this information, as they've listened to and have been able to receive information about your ideas and your thoughts and your hopes and your dreams for your church, then we will have a leadership summit that will take place in February. Out of that leadership summit will come a recommendation for the direction of our church, and that will go to the church council, and the church council ultimately will decide what we will be focusing on in the days, weeks, months, years to come as a congregation. Now, I use that word focus because we're calling this whole process Focus First. And that word focus is important because we want to be very clear about the direction of the church. We want to have a focus on who we are and who our neighbor is and where God is leading us to go. And so, focus first is what we're calling this process, and your participation is critical. And I invite you to be a part of this in every way that you can. Thank you.